Welcome to our AVA webinar. We are continuing the series that Tim Miner had initiated. We took a break. We had the Olympiad and some things happening, but after hearing from everyone and looking at some of the gaps in our programming and operation, realize how important it is to continue with the monthly webinars. And we will continue as long as they're helpful to everyone and there's attendance and we're addressing concerns. So this is the continuation of our training webinars, and today we're going to try to bring everyone up to speed on Element3. This is Element3 Health. This is an initiative that we started, I'm going to say 3, maybe 4 years ago. And it's been evolving, and it's evolving for a couple of reasons. One, it's a new partnership, and two, we've been doing what we've been doing for a long, long time. But Element3 Health is really growing by leaps and bounds and doing well. And so we're happy that they're willing to share that and participate with us in the growth. So things will continue to evolve with the partnership. So enough said there. I'm going to introduce Spencer Morgan, who is the founder of GroupWorks. I guess if there's some questions later on the back end about GroupWorks, we could address those as well. But this is primarily to talk about the sort of the new initiatives around Element3 Health with the participation reporting, activity reporting, club involvement, referrals from Element3 Health, how that's going, how that works, etc., how clubs can sign up and participate in this program. And we also have joining us Mike Green, the chair of the IT committee, who will also demonstrate how his club is using this and how it's benefited them working with the Element3. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce first Spencer Morgan.
Thank you, Henry. Nice to meet everyone, or maybe some of you we might have met before. I'm the founder of Element3 Health and GroupWorks. GroupWorks is a product that we provide, but so just in case this might be new to some of you, I'll just kind of quickly tell you about what Element3 Health is. And feel free to ask any questions. I'll make it brief since I do believe many of you understand or have heard about what we are. But essentially, we are a Medicare Advantage and supplemental plan benefit administrator. So, many of you might be familiar with Silver Sneakers, where the health plan understands that going to the gym is something healthy and they want to incentivize and support that. We set about this mission with the understanding that clubs and activity groups that are outside of the gym are equally, if not more, healthy, and that health plans should incentivize and cover those membership dues as well. And so in recent years, as we've continued to add to our health plan partners on that side, we've also engaged with the AVA to cover group walks and membership to the AVA, as well as other organizations like the American Contract Bridge League, or the U.S. Bowling Congress, or the U.S. Chess Federation, or the Academy of Model Aeronautics. Those are the folks that fly model airplanes, or the American Antique Automobile Association. So these clubs so first let me just say thank you for what you do in leading walking groups. I'm sure you know better than me that you're really adding you're doing great things for the health and happiness of all your members. I probably don't need to tell you that, but I do always like to say thank you for that. And so our mission is to bring as many people as we can to that experience of pursuing a passion in an activity group, and we do that through our relationships with associations and clubs, and we do that through our health plan partners, where we're able to promote events, and they're constantly sending us members. We hundreds of people sign up for our benefit every day, and there are over 14.5 million people that are eligible for our benefit through our relationships with our health plan partners. So that's a little bit about Element3 Health. I was putting together a presentation, and then I was having a conversation with Mike Green, who is a club leader, and you know, he shared with me that he's interfacing with the Element3 portal frequently in his role as a club leader, and we came up with the realization that it might be better for him to just demonstrate how he loads events, how he engages with people that RSVP for events. And so I think that would be the next well, and before I turn it over to Mike, I'll just say that in 2024, we have new health payers coming on board, and we have some new features that we will be introducing, including a club directory that's going to be really prominent. So we do hope, we're seeing every month that people are taking advantage of are finding AVA walks, and some of you might have experienced some of those people. We are doing our best to really surface those opportunities in 2024. So it will be great for those club leaders that are interested to have the right people in those clubs on the portal, so that they can make sure that the events, especially the group walks, are up to date, and also be able to kind of action those RSVPs as Mike will be showing. So maybe before I hand it over to Mike, are there any questions about what I've just been talking about? No? Everybody's having a good night? Okay. All right. Mike, do you want to share your screen or take over? Because otherwise I'm just going to keep
Sure.
talking. Okay.
This is Mike Green. I'm the AVA IT committee, and I'm also active in a local club known as the Liberty Bell Wanderers. We are outside Philadelphia, and we have a number of events that we have as year-rounds, and we do group walks of our events on Thursdays and Saturdays, mostly year-rounds and sometimes traditional events. And we, like some clubs, mysteriously get some RSVPs from Element3 people who have signed up for our walks as maybe solo events, or sometimes for one of our group activities that we've uploaded. As some of you may not know, we have been, for the last couple of years, been sending a summary of all of AVA year-rounds and traditional events periodically to Element3, and they are listing them to their members as events that they might be interested in. For year-round events, they tend to make them specific time events that they encourage people to do solo activities of our year-round events at specific times. And more often than not, if you see an RSVP from Element3, it is because they they signed up for one of these solo events. And so what I propose to do is share my screen and show you what that looks like a little bit here. So let's share that's screen 2. Share. And now you should be actually seeing my email account there in Gmail, and I've gotten these RSVPs all nicely in one spot here. And this is more of a demo of how that looks. So you get for your club, if you were signed up as a point of contact for that event, and may not necessarily, it may be, we can talk about this, but the point of contact can vary. If you have gone into and told AVA that you want a particular person to be the email point of contact for Element3 activity, then they will get this email. If you have not, then in principle, the actual point of contact for the event in question will get this email. So what has happened here, when I get an RSVP, that means that somebody with an Element3 user account has gone in and seen one of our events and decided to sign up for it. So if I click on this email, I don't know how well you can see this. Let's go a little bit bigger there. So we get this very encouraging email that, guess what? Our Doylestown museum walk, somebody wants to do that, and they want to do it on 11/16. But you see, it doesn't tell me much more than it was Spencer Morgan, because Spencer did this example for us today. This is the same person that was just speaking. And but we really don't know what we would really like to be able to contact Spencer maybe and let him know maybe a bit more about our club. It's the first, I know with our club, every time we see somebody new come in through an RSVP, we send them a standard email about, this is our club. We do these walks on Thursdays and Saturdays, and you're welcome to join us, either be it as a member of our club, or but we would definitely encourage you to become a member. But you can walk it even without being a member. And of course, more information about our walks and our website and everything else. But at this stage, we'll assume that, Spencer's a brand new walker, and I want to know more information about him. Notice I don't have an email. I don't have a way to contact him. And so what you have to have is a club account, and I will show so I have gone to this particular URL. I actually don't even have to go to the login. I don't think. I can probably just do this. Yeah. And it immediately takes me to log in, because I've got a username and a password already set up, and my browser remembers that. I don't have to type it in. But so I am the designated manager for one of the designated managers for our club account, and I can log in. And I can see that it has an option up here to switch to a member view versus a club view. And by default, I'm coming in here as club view. And my club is the Liberty Bell Wanderers. And immediately you see all these upcoming events. And notice it says solo activity. Those are the events that have been uploaded by the AVA. And this is Bethlehem Walk is actually a year-round walk. But Element3 has decided to parse these into individual solo activities and encourage people to do these activities at a particular time. And again, doesn't necessarily have to, the club doesn't necessarily have to join that in that activity. And notice here's an event where the activity was not a solo activity. I will show you how to put one of these in. This is actually a group walk of one of our year rounds that we will have multiple people from our club do that walk at this time of day on this date. But now we want to know about what's going on with Spencer here, and he signed up for the 11/16 Doylestown walk. And so you'll notice that this Doylestown walk is probably back here. Yeah. So there's an 1116 Doylestown walk, but it doesn't show there. So that's interesting. Let's see. Yeah. Do I have to view it to see the RSVP? I thought it would show me if I had an RSVP in the interface.
It
Let
does.
me, well, then this one's not showing up for some reason. 11/16/2023.
Let's click on that Doylestown one.
Okay, so we got to go back. There it is. Okay, it does. Okay, so be nice. Point for your interface. Be nice if I didn't have to guess for that which one it was. Maybe a little nicer interface for that. But it shows that Spencer signed up and his RSV is being marked as attended because at this level, when he's attending one of our solo events, it's just not much you can do with that. And that's probably why it's not showing up necessarily. But the good news is I could get his email address. Now, Spencer gave me his email address at Element3, but I could contact him in principle and send him more information about my club. Notice there's even a phone number here. And I could send him more information about my club. But there's not much else I can do on a solo event, though for another event of that type, I can show you where I've got a pending RSVP in a past event. So that one I can show, I think here. So there's current and past events. When was that RSVP for the other one?
I think that was also a future event.
Oh, it was? Oh, I think you're right. Yes. So that was in December 2nd. So
right.
so now I gotta go into here to get to December 2nd. And it's a little bit awkward, but I understand the interface here will be a bit improved so that it just shows our group walks. And so went past it, December 2nd. Yeah, there it is. So here's one. Again, it's not a solo activity. That means it's a group walk that I have uploaded the information for. And I've got one RSVP and I can view this in more detail. And it shows me that here again, Spencer Morgan has done that. And after that date, I will be able to go in and acknowledge that, yes, Spencer attended this event. And the net result is the club will get a bit more money from doing that in the AVA wheel too. And I can show you that in more detail.
Mike,
Yes.
time out.
Sure.
You've lost 99% of us. Where are you in the universe?
I'm in the Element3 website for my club.
Okay.
So the first order of business is you have to sign up for an Element3 club account to be able to see RSVP details and also to be able to see RSVP details and ultimately acknowledge that yes, that person attended your event when it's a group walk.
Okay, so most of us probably haven't signed up. So how do we even sign up for this account, please?
So Morgan, do you want to take over?
Yes. So Tim, we will be sending out, we'll be reviewing the point of contacts on all the clubs that are interested, or sorry, that are already on the site, and adding the current point of contact in addition to whoever is currently managing the club. In addition to that, we'll send out a communication to all the club leaders, inviting them to set up their club or accept an invitation to the club. That communication, we'll work on getting that to you as soon as possible, either before or shortly after Thanksgiving. I think probably shortly after Thanksgiving, if that helps. So look out for a communication. Which club are you involved with, Tim?
Well, I have not only my own personal club, the Woodendale Wanderers, which we are signed up for, but I have Virginia, the entire 10 clubs of Virginia to watch out for. It's just that
Yes.
Okay.
this all blew over real fast over our heads, and Celia
Well,
is here trying to frantically sign up and figuring out what to do to catch up to be part where you are. That's all that I'm saying.
okay. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, I can show you the benefits of signing up if you're interested, just by looking at some things that on the AVA website. So here's the Las Vegas High Rollers and Strollers. And if you go to reports and then Element3, we can see that they've actually, because they've gotten a $1.75. So each one of these is a participation. The client here is identified by a client ID. It's the same person. And they have RSVP'd for a group walk, and they have been acknowledged by the club. And that's why the club got $1.75. And actually the AVA got a $1.25, again, donate or through the Element3 program. And if I go here and look earlier, you can, you can see here's one where they've clearly done one of these solo events. And in this case, the club gets $1 for that. At any club that gets an RSVP, whether they're signed up or not, will get that amount of money. But it's only by virtue of having a club account with Element3 do they get the possibility of finding out who these people are who client 6697 is, and then also the ability to, if they show up for one of your group activities, acknowledging that they RSVP'd and that and therefore are eligible for the program to be able to get a bit more money. It's not much. And so that's one of the benefits, right? And many clubs get 1 or 2 or 3. So some clubs get more. I know the Ambler Club has gotten a lot. Asheville Amblers. If I go to their club account and I go to their reports, Element3, Q4 wasn't it, but Q3, yeah, see, they brought in $715, and that's basically, again, as if the member paid the $3 because the club gets the $1.75 and $1.25 goes to the AVA. When it's an unacknowledged RSVP for a solo event, then the club gets the $1, the AVA gets nothing, according to the current agreement.
How is that going to change now that the price has changed for our walks?
I think the agreement is that for solo events, the amount's going to $2, is my understanding. And I presume, I don't know about the group activity, how that's going to go exactly. Is it going to go with maybe in principle, this should go to $2. And then what goes to AVA is between Henry and Spencer. Whatever that's been agreed to, I don't know.
We don't know yet, Tim. That's the right answer. We don't know.
Yeah,
That's under negotiation with Element3 that we would take up later.
Yeah, my understanding is the one thing that has been agreed is that this will go to $2. That's my understanding. And there hasn't, we're not talking about a lot of big money here for either the clubs right now, but in principle could be big money if we get more clubs interested and generate a little bit of interest. I mean, I can, if there's any interest, I mean, I don't know. Let's go to, I can show you for Q4 what we've got so far. Let's go to Q3, what happened last. So in Q3, the total amount that came in, $125 went to the clubs and $13.75 went to the AVA. So it's just, it's a little bit of money to all the different clubs that got some money because of this program, and some of them probably don't have that interface to acknowledge that. Part of that, having that interface, and I haven't shown you, is the ability to upload group activities to that, and I can show you how to do that if there's no more questions on this particular topic.
Well, Mike, a quick question here is, we are signed up to be Element3 in our club.
Okay, so you can log in and you can see a thing like this.
Yes,
Okay.
we can do that, but there is no link from there to our we had a question on our site about where's the physical start box. There's no linkage to show folks where our physical our year-round events are located, that they can go and walk, so that they can go get the at least we're
It's
not.
the box. It says ask at the location. It's in a particular place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I can let me go back here and look at a particular, let me get out of this view. Let me go home. So when they click on view for this solo activity, then, this is the information they get to see. And this is where that start box is located. And
But there is no detail about where, like it is in the drawer at this location, or it is located. They don't have access to our event information, the detailed event information.
Okay, so why is that? Because here are at the starting point, comfort suites in the back lot. Walkers are instructed to park in the back lot. Please ask for the route box. So where did that information come from? I think that information came from the actual
the
event
upload.
itself. Yeah, from the
Yeah.
upload. And so I probably had that in the event information from the upload, right? We do upload that information. So if I go to, I don't know, let's go to my find and do the Bethlehem.
And while you're doing that, Mike, I should just say that walking is the most requested activity from our members, but specifically group walks. And coming soon, we will be featuring the group walks more prominently, so they don't get buried in the solo walks, which has been a complaint, rightfully so. But I just want to let you mention, our mission here is to bring as many people to your walking groups as we can, and so the more that there are group walks that are uploaded, the more that we can really point all those people coming looking for walks to your clubs, and hopefully get them engaged with your groups, meet you guys, and become part of your community.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that all this information is uploaded to Element3. Now they do a little bit of post-processing on that information, and I can't control what makes it or does not make it into the description. But at least for this particular walk, they did say important details. Ask for the start box when you arrive. Where they told you where to park, and I don't know what else would be there.
Sorry, this is Lee. I'm a part of the Element3 Health team. I'm also the one who uploads most of the solo events. If you view through a member view, each of these events should actually contain a link directly to the AVA webpage.
Okay, let's go through a member view
for their event, or specific for the event.
So
it may be, let's see, because I know it's a part of the upload that I processed.
Well, that's different. Is it part of that upload that's given to you from AVA?
It's the same file that I showed you, Mike. There's a column specifically for a link, and I'll point it out too when you show
it didn't make it. It didn't make it here. Let's put it like that.
Okay, that's good to know. So that might be
that's a little bit of a problem because it
didn't. That is new information to me because I've been including that.
So we go back to member view, and so solo activity, Schuylkill Banks, view details. Then I don't see a link. I see the important details.
That's so odd.
Is it just that
but now,
particular walk?
certainly, well, certainly when
No, it should be. I mean, it's for every walk. There's a specific AVA URL that I
yeah, well,
purposely
certainly
included.
when I upload events, I make sure, like for the Pennypack Trail here,
Right. That's what you're putting in the
that,
description. Okay.
that's where I'm putting it in the description, and that's the link you would find out more information from.
Correct. And I'll show you.
So that's a good point, and that just
Okay.
need to make sure, because certainly that that link is in the spreadsheet that's
Yeah,
sent to you.
absolutely. And that's why I was trying to,
Yes.
that's why I figured it was in there.
Yeah.
So the most important point we've just had here is that link that you just saw has to be in every single event, because that's where all the most detailed information about what's going on, where is located.
And that's correct. There's a section, Mike, on it's titled virtual URL, and like I said, every event has a URL.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
it very well could be that that section that you saw that you were showing with the Liberty Bell Wanderer, where it had a highlight. Click on that if you could.
Just a second.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're going to go to member view.
And you could probably do any of them. Click that Liberty Bell Wanderer if you would.
So that takes you.
It takes you right back to the club page. That's
yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll look into that.
Yeah, I mean, we can, Lee, we can get together afterwards, because I don't, what happened, before you came up with this upload template, there was an agreed to template that was agreed for how I should upload all the events from AVA, and
this is the
possible
only
there was a
I've ever
mismatch.
been.
Well, but this is before you came online, so we agreed to this other template, and so I don't know. It probably is not under the column of virtual URL, but there is a link there available, and we'll talk about it online. But I think that's a good point. Good, all good points, and good to have the feedback. Is there anything else we can do before I proceed here with a bit more details on how to upload events? Okay, so I'm going to again go to my. Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say that hopefully that information that you showed about being able to discover the member who's RSVP'd contact information, that's all that should be useful in trying to engage that member, making sure they have a good experience and introducing them to your club.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the main point of that presentation is you got these RSVPs. How do you find out more information about them? And this is the current scheme, and hopefully that interface will improve a little bit to allow you to more easily find out who's RSVP'd, maybe in a separate way. But right now, that's the way it works. And now the question is, how do I get these non-solo activities that I've uploaded for my club here that we're going to be doing this Thursday? Let's call the Pennypack Trail. And the answer is we go through the upload. You could add a single event, and you just type in all the data, and usual start time, duration, address, description, additional information. If you want to upload some pictures, they have that capability, and your event leader, and then hit submit. But our club, we tend to do it, plan our events in quarters or almost 3 months at a time, and then get them out to 2 months ahead of time for the next 3 months. And so I want to go back to club, and I want to go, instead of going add a single event, I want to do upload multiple events. And so how do you upload multiple events? Well, you use the template. So if you click on that, on the template, notice it says I got a template there, and I could show you that here, but I'll also show you one that I filled out. Let's do that. So you'll notice that it indicates an example here, and you should only enter data starting in row 4, but it has example data here, so you can get a feeling of what's expected. here. And then I'll show you what I did for one event and then for multiple events. So I'm going to close this. So I've taken the same template, and now I want to go to there, and now the smaller one. So here's that same template, and I put one particular event here. It's the Doylestown event. And it's actually, this is not since past, it was on the 11th. And I just took and X'd out all their examples so it wouldn't confuse me. And I completed that. Now, how I did that's a bit trickier, but I did that. And then you can save it and upload it. So that's what I'll do. I'll close that, go back to that interface, and choose a spreadsheet, and you'll have to browse to it. Of course, since I've been practicing this a little bit, it goes immediately to where my report there is. And I'm going to upload one so you can take a look at it. And I don't have any attachments. I don't use that feature. And I upload it, and you can see it found one event, and here is that event. And that hasn't been put into the system yet. It lets me review it. So I can see what information is going in, see that, what I intended. And then notice I also made a point of making sure that this link is available there. That's interesting. I might use this virtual URL feature myself and see how that works. I haven't done that before. Sounds like I should be able to take this and put that in this field. I will do that the next time I upload. Anyway, that's just for one. And notice here, I can say I can accept this and put it in. I don't want to do that. That's really already been up there. Or I can decide to start over. So I'll just start over. And now I'm going to choose a different spreadsheet. It's one that has a few more events in it. And again, I don't have any attachments. And then I'm going to upload. Took a little longer. And why is that? Well, I have 32 events in that spreadsheet, where I've supplied that information. I can link through that. And if it found any type errors or anything like that, like a phone number that didn't make sense or a date that didn't quite have the right format, things like that, it would show that as error. And then I could click through my errors, fix those, revise and upload again, or I can just leaf through and make sure everything looks kosher. And then once I do that, I would hit accept all, and that would push that into the system. I don't want to do that because this is an old file and I would get duplicate events, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to hit revise upload to not do that. So that's what was done to bring in these non-solo activities. And again, if you view the details, you can tell that it sort of looks like what I showed you in that case here for this particular Pennypack Trail event. And a link that sounds like I've learned that I'm going to put that in a different field in that spreadsheet, and hopefully that'll come up as a hot link next time. So I learned a little bit in doing this presentation myself. Then the only other thing is to show you the club Element3 report. And in fact, I can show you the club report for the Liberty Bells. And so far, we haven't had an Element3 walker. In Q3, we had 3. And that was self-guided or solo event, so it was only $1. I don't know, did we ever get an acknowledged? Let's see, maybe we got one. Q1. Q2. Yeah. We had one acknowledged walker that we've been able to bring in this way that went to one of our group activities.
Mike, can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
It's Dawn Gruber.
Sure.
For that activity, if you get the email RSVP, do you then have to go through your start cards to counter check that? Are they supposed to come up and say something to us that they're an Element3? Because that's how they're supposed to register, correct?
Right. I mean, in principle, yeah, they should tell you they're Element3. That's what they should do. Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have no way of saying, yes, that was that person.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure if we were supposed to be like going through start cards to check to see if this person came or what have you.
I mean, it might be nice because in principle, if they sign up with the name that you know, I mean, the probability that they're that person is pretty high, right?
Right.
Because like most of the start cards, they put in their name and even they have their email address. So if that matches, the name and email matches, then I would say if they didn't come up to you and you had that information, then you acknowledge it. There are so few of these right now that I don't think it's too much of a burden. But that's the way it works. Yes. You're welcome. Yes, so that's the way you would do that. Hopefully, yeah, in this case, I remember this fellow who joined us for this particular walk. He was an interesting guy. But he hasn't joined us for another walk. So I don't know. We've had to ping him, but we do have his information. So we might try to encourage him to join us tomorrow.
Exactly. Absolutely.
But you see, we did have a lot of people. We have some people who are regularly walking our Schuylkill Banks walk. And they're also regular. So there's somebody these are all down in Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, and who are RSVPing and supposedly doing the walk. We don't have any way of verifying that. It's a self-guided walk. They did that without the presence of the club. And we don't even know if they signed our login sheet. But presumably they didn't pay us any money. So because they go in as free walkers.
Mike, can I ask another question about that?
Sure.
So when they're instructed to go to the start location, are they given some kind of I've not seen the client interface. Are they given instructions that they are supposed to register in the log to be able to sign the waiver and all that kind of stuff? Is that explained to them in any of this information so that they know to do all that?
I don't know for sure what's actually sent to the user on an RSVP. I've never RSVP'd, so I could ask Spencer that question. Is there any AVA specific information that gets sent along those lines, Spencer? Because they are expected to sign our logs.
Yes. And that's what they're going to encounter at the start box.
Yes.
And so I don't know if we give the explicit instruction to be sure to sign the start box, the logbook. I believe that we've been, my understanding is that that's the typical behavior.
Well, certainly for people familiar with the AVA, that's Volksporters do, but presumably these are people that are not experienced Volksporters, and so it's a bit of a So I think that's maybe an action item to follow up on that. I presume that when you RSVP, excuse me,
Spencer, there was an interface where they checked her by signing up, you're agreeing, and I remember you showed me that, Spencer. Did that?
Yes.
Because there is one somewhere there. I remember you showed it to me for the waiver.
Right.
But that's
done electronically rather than the physical start box.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they've signed the waivers, so we're good on that in general. But now we have the question of, did they really let the club know? And at some level, I mean, it's maybe going to be more important now that we're going to start charging for people that elect us to be a free or a guest walker. But at least in the past, free walkers didn't cost the club anything. And so this dollar was strictly to the club and kind of an extra benefit to the club.
Well, and Element3 walkers are not free walkers. They're sponsored.
They're basically what we would call sponsored walkers, but they get scored on their participation the same way free walkers do right now. There's no way to distinguish them.
Right.
And in the old system before with the change in 2024, the consequences of that were not too significant because the AVA didn't expect any money if somebody signed in as a free walker. Now they're expecting the clubs to put in $2 for every free walker, and starting in 2024. Okay, so
Mike, I have a question on when you're uploading, just to clarify. When you add an event, that's where we want to see clubs add group events, right? Because all the YREs and the traditionals should already be uploaded for the most part for the club. So clubs don't have to go in and upload every event. This is
it's just their group activities.
Group activities or meetups or a new walk.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, the TEs should be in there also. So in principle, they don't have to upload their traditional events also, because the traditional events are being put in by the AVA. Though we tend to bring them in and then delete the other ones, but because you'll get duplicates that way. But and the important thing is that when you do this, there's a place here where you indicate the type of an event. You need to indicate it's a group activity. That's important. It needs to be identified as a group activity when you do this upload yourself, because the YREs are solo activities, and you really shouldn't be uploading your year rounds, because we are uploading the year rounds for you or directly to Element3. Yes.
Question. This is Sharon Motes.
Hi, Sharon.
We had a walk in Oregon that was closed like the second quarter because the construction in the city or whatever.
Sure.
Yet it 2 weeks ago somebody was from Elements3 wanted to walk it. Do they not update the file when walks are closed for the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's difficult for them to, because we only upload new information to Element3 maybe 2 or 3 times a year. So that the only way that they could find out that it was closed would be clicking on that link, which doesn't exist right now.
Well, then, contacting the POC was what they did.
If you would like to sort of make me a point of contact in a situation like this, I can provide everyone with my email. If a year-round event ends or a serious change occurs, I'm able to make the changes to these year-round events for you all. But like Mike said, if it's just something that happens and it doesn't get brought to my attention, it doesn't specifically get noticed.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, yeah. So that's just a matter of whether we would, whether they even Element3 could tolerate a weekly upload of the latest information on our year-round events. I mean, it could be done.
And I don't necessarily think it needs to be a weekly update, but more specifically, like if a club leader, like if they cancel an event,
well,
that would be something
that happens all the time, and I don't even have casually. I don't have anything that tells me.
Yeah, but Mike, that's to the point of hopefully helping the club leaders to be able to engage with the platform themselves, and when an event is canceled, they can go in and make those changes, right? And
right, it's trickier. It's trickier for year rounds because in principle they would have to cancel all of those multiple scheduled self-guided events.
I do only upload a month at a time, so it's never going to be more than that.
Okay. So that's the tricky part. But it would be nicer, again, if the display would filter based on first on solo versus non-solo event, and then also maybe have an option to sort alphabetically. Then you could see all the ones that are there, and then you would have a way to the person could systematically cancel them if for some reason like she said, the year-round got closed because of some problem. I might also mention that when we do upload events to Element3, they are only events that have a physical start box, or in particular are not OSB only. The OSB only events are not uploaded because we have not figured out a good way to support the idea of someone paying $2 for event directions, which is our basic requirement for people to get copies of our event directions, that when they download it, it's $2 charged against their my.ava.org account. And we haven't. So right now we only send to Element3 physical start box events. It could be physical start box / online start box, but at least there has to be a physical start box or some other non-OSB ability to register for the event. Okay.
Mike, Tim Miner here for the quick point. Celia's here. We're manipulating the system, and she's going in and editing events. What she's finding is for multiple day events, she has to edit every single day uniquely. There is no way that a change to one day somehow carries over to other days.
Well, that's the name of the problem. So
I have asked for this to be addressed. I know we don't specifically have a timeline on those changes. We are adding filtering though that will help with the solo versus self group event situation.
And would help also if when it filtered it, or maybe had an option to alphabetically order versus time order, and at least all the things you need to change would be in one thing. But yeah, so that's so good. We do have Element3 representatives online here. They're listening, and we'll see how much can be addressed. I mean, logically, it's sad that you have to change, something that you probably already are maintaining on the AVA website. And again, the only way that I would know to address this in any reasonable way is that every week we send an update to Element3, or we provide a capability for Element3 to pull down, maybe even change data, but first order all data.
Yeah, I can say that Henry alluded to some growth here at Element3. We are going to be investing heavily in our product and technology in 2024. We are already now, and the club leader and member experience is going to continue to be enhanced over the year, as well as just the volume of eligible members in across the country, but certainly in some states more than others. And so really looking forward to bringing more walkers to your events, to your clubs, and hearing your requests, and also supporting you with the existing platform, and appreciate your patience, and hopefully we can really help a lot of people find some great walks and great walking clubs and new friends. And I would love to attend more these meetings when we have updates. And Lee, I think it would be a great idea to send out your email, if you want to put it in the chat box, but also maybe after this for anybody who's in any particular club that's wanting to. They're more than likely your club already has a club on Element3 where we're posting the year-round and traditional walks, and there's a point of contact that's in there. It might be you, it might be somebody else, and we're gonna be happy to add you and get you engaged with your club.